You might ask how we could have bought this dreamy doer-upper without realising we'd have to take so much of her down. Here's the truth of it. It was plainly obvious from the first viewing that there were some serious structural issues with the house. We couldn't miss the crumbling window mullions or the detaching bay, and a survey confirmed just as much. So here's what we did know. The original part of the house was built in 1906, and really unusually for that period, they used concrete for all of the structural openings. And here's some nerdy but relevant concrete facts. Concrete's actually been around since as early as 6500 BC. Then of course we all recognise Roman structures such as the Colosseum and Pantheon. But after the decline of the Roman Empire, things went quiet for a time. By the late 1800s we started to see its use again, this time with steel reinforcement. And that's what we have here.
When they were making the mix for our house, they made one really fatal mistake. Come with me, I'll show you. They had the ingenious idea that they could use the readily available sand, shells and all, as the aggregate, and you can still see it, everything inside the concrete today. But the one thing they hadn't accounted for is that the salt on the sand would react with the steel reinforcement, and that's basically rusted and expanded and blown open the concrete.
Unfortunately, this isn't just in one place. This is in every single opening. The rest of this part is made using a material called cob, which is compacted subsoil clay and stone. Now, usually this is a great material, but because of this movement, and the house also sinking into the clay below, the walls have become dangerously unstable.
This is when we realised if we didn't want the centre of the house to sink down, we'd have to drill piles all the way down to the bedrock. This was devastating news, and it took us a really long time to come to terms with it, but we stuck with it, and actually there's been some really good news. Firstly, one bit of good news is that the terrace end of the building was actually already built on piles, so it's safe and secure.
Secondly, the costings have come back almost identical.
Then finally, it's an opportunity to make her more sustainable, which is great. We'll be able to use things like air source instead of oil, and potentially put some solar in here as well. So we're looking at the silver linings. It's not what we planned for, and it's definitely not what we wished for, but we feel really confident now that we can rebuild her in the same style, and eventually we'll get to live in the house that we actually fell in love with. Now, if you've made it to the end of this video, then I know you're as invested in this house as we are and bringing her back to life. So, love you. Bye!